everyone, I'm Tabitha, and today we are wrapping up April. So April is the first month where I have officially, like most of the rest of you, been quarantined right here at home for the entire month. So at our family, that means one small house contains 2 adults trying to work from home, 2 students trying to do school from home and not fight with each other, and then 1 dog who fully doesn't understand what's going on with this entire process. So we're about to find out if I am more or less productive in quarantine, and I have no idea what to expect. So let's find out together. In 2020, remember, I decided to work on year-long goals instead of monthly ones. So as a reminder, here are those year-long goals I've been working towards. At the end of the first quarter of 2020, so that means after January, February, and March, they looked more like this. So some progress had been made, but definitely a lot still left to do. So just like in the previous months of 2020, I'm going to start at the top of the document and work my way down and just check on everything as we go. Starting at the top of that document, my biggest goal for 2020 has definitely been to get Training Tutor published. So the betas are done, the edits are done, the formatting is done, the advanced reader copies are already out and in the hands of the advanced readers. In fact, you can go to Amazon, or more preferably my website, right now and pre-order your own copy of Training Tutor. In fact, you can also, today, I think, the day this airs, you can also head to my website and take advantage of a really sweet deal where you can grab all 3 of the Kingdom of Fran ebooks for one low price directly from my website in case you need to catch up on the entire series. Basically, what I'm getting at is this goal is done. Next up on the side over there is the edits and rewrites box. Now, so far in 2020, you have been groaning along with me as I put a big fat red X in this box every month because I've done absolutely nothing on it. I'm happy to report we finally have progress on the edits and rewrites box in 2020. After finishing my final read-through of Training Tutor, I jumped right into editing Fran Book 4. I've had lots and lots of people ask me why I do this. Why do I already have a lot of the Fran series written if I'm barely publishing Book 3? And it's because it allows me the continuity of the story when I edit like this. So I was doing a final read-through of 3 and immediately can start editing the 0 draft of 4, which is great. However, I was about, a third of the way through my 0 draft, and I realized I wanted to make changes to my timeline. So I ended up busting out sticky notes, putting 1 chapter on each sticky note, and completely reorganizing the entire story. So as you can imagine, that's forced a pretty epic rewrite. So I am probably halfway through the rewrite of the 4th book right now. But I'm making progress on edits and rewrites. Next up is my 0 draft box. This box is intended to always keep me working on something new. As you know, Fran Book 5, which is the top of that box, has already been 0 drafted. I haven't touched that again, and I have no plans to touch that again right now. I'm happy to report that in April, I did finally finish the 0 draft of the YA Contemporary, which was my 2019 Nano project, but it is finally done. I'm going to let it sit for a while, as is my process. I let it sit, and eventually it'll move into the edits and rewrites box, but it will be a lower priority than even the Magical YA, because that needs to be the next focus. I did write a lot of words this month in April on my idea journal. That's what I do when I'm trying to find a new story idea, especially because I left myself this unhelpful note of something new to be 0 drafted, and I didn't clarify what that was. So I probably wrote like 10,000 words in my idea journal in April, and about 2/3 of those, I would say, have all been on 2 different story ideas. So maybe one of those will jump out and be my next active work in progress. I don't know. But right now, I'm perfectly happy writing in the idea journal because I have a lot of stuff I'm editing. Now let's move on to the goals that are at the bottom of the page. The first one is to post 24 short story scenes or poems to my blog. At the time of filming this video, I have posted, I think, 6 times to the blog. Only one of those, business, was a short scene from the idea journal. I will drop the link to that one in the description in case you missed it, so you can go check it out. I will, as I've been doing all of 2020, post a poetry wrap-up for April at the end of the month, meaning that I will hit this goal again, but just barely. As of right now, the total count for 2020 stands at 10 total short story scenes, poems, or blogs to the blog. Remember, the goal is 24, and I'm already at 10. So I'm doing pretty good. I have a good, strong start, which will be good in case I stall out before the year is over. Also in that box is the goal to put 52 videos right here to this YouTube channel that you're watching right now. That, of course, is one per week. This video you are watching right this second is the 6th video, I believe, for April. That means my total for 2020 so far should be sitting at 27, I think, which means I'm on track to meet this goal by the end of the year. My favorite video for the month of April was probably the Bookish Controversies 2 video because it turns out giving my opinion is actually fun. And I don't know, maybe I'm going to make more of a habit of that in the future. We'll see. Last on this page, but certainly not the least important of my goals, is to read and review 104 books in the year 2020. That, of course, is 2 books per week, and to help myself with that, I always set an official TBR for the month, and April's looked like this. This TBR included 2 advanced reader copies, which were Jane Austen Society and Sorry for Your Trouble, 2 review requests, which were Killer Domes and the Chosen One and Dawn's Hill, and of course the 4 Shield challenges. Let's break down those 4 Shield challenges even more and find out what is earning the Shields in May. First up is the Shield for books that have been on my TBR the longest. In April, this Shield went to The Safest Lies by Megan Miranda. I enjoyed that one. I read it very, very quickly. It's going to be up on my reviews part 2, which I need to get up for you so you can see it, but I did finish that book, so that's exciting. Let's see what gets that Shield for May. So I'm going to open up Goodreads here. And I'm going to make sure I'm sorting by date added. That's newest, so I'm going to switch it so it goes to the oldest. Okay, so it looks like the oldest book, or the book that's been on my TBR the longest, is going to be The Weight of Silence by Heather Gudenkauf. I don't know. I added this one to my TBR according to Goodreads in December of 2017. So it's been on this list for 2.5 years. I don't remember adding it. I mean, I added it 2.5 years ago. If I had to guess, judging by the other stuff that's on the TBR right around that, I'm guessing I was on a mystery thriller kick and this was probably recommended by someone. So hopefully I will enjoy it. In fact, I'm betting it's a lot in the same vein as that Megan Miranda book I just read because they were added to my list around the same time. So to be my TBR the longest Shield is going to The Weight of Silence by Heather Gudenkauf. Okay, let's keep going. Next up for my Shields is the lowest average rated on my TBR. For April, this one was Panic by Tom Levine. This is a companion novel, so it didn't have a lot of ratings going in to the month, which I think is probably why it was coming up the lowest. I thoroughly enjoyed that book, which isn't going to surprise anyone who watches this channel because you know I am a huge Tom Levine fan. That review is also going to be up on the second reviews of April. I'm running a tiny bit behind on getting those up for you, so it'll be up, but I enjoyed it and I finished it. Let's see what gets the lowest average rated on my TBR Shield in the month of May. I just panicked like, oh my gosh, it's May. Okay, so in my Goodreads, I'm going to switch back to average rating and make sure that it loads, that I'm going low to high. Oh, it looks like this one will be, I'm going to mess up this name. Ubeity is the name of the book, and the author's name I would really mess up. So I'm just going to say G. Kanowski? I got it wrong. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know how to say the name. But the book is Ubeity. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, I was asked to review that book. So this is exciting because that means it'll get to move up and the author will get to see the review sooner than it was promised, which is great. It looks like this book has an average rating of 3.08 stars. So that's cool. I think that's about middle ground there. So hopefully I'll be able to help this author out and get that review early. So that's awesome. So lowest average rating is going to Ubeity. Other side of that same coin is highest average rating on my TBR. For April, that one was Elf Boy by Abigail Grace. I rated that one on my April Reviews 1. I gave it, I think I gave it 3 stars because it had kind of a niche audience. So I don't think I graded it as high as the average, but I did give it a pretty good rating. It was a good book. Let's see what's going to get that Shield in May. So again, going to my Goodreads here, and I'm just going to, we're already sorting by average rating. We're just going to flip it the other way. I need to skip over these first two. Red Winter in the West is the second book in a series that I haven't read the first one. And the other one, Death Donor, is an arc that I have, which means the book hasn't come out yet. So I think those ratings would be skewed, which I don't really think is fair. So that means the highest average rating on my TBR is going to Sex, Death, God, but Not in That Order by John Eli Matthew. I do have an electronic copy of this one. I got it from, I think, from Tom Levine's website. He's the editor listed on this one. So I think I got it from Tom Levine's website. Then I forgot I had it and then found it again. And so it looks like it's only been on my TBR since January, but that's because for the longest time, I couldn't find it. So I'm excited to actually read that one. It looks like that'll be getting the highest average rating shield. That's for Sex, Death, God, but Not in That Order by John Eli Matthew. My last shield around here always goes to a book that's recommended based on my most recent 5-star review. For April, the recommended title was Empire by Orson Scott Card, which was recommended because I loved Speaker for the Dead, also by Orson Scott Card. I did, full disclosure, as of the time of filming this video, I am not done with Empire. But I will be done before the month is over, so I'm counting it. I will be done. But it probably won't make it up until a carryover to May review, because I review in groups of 5, and it's the 11th book that I'm reading for April. So, poor planning on my part, but I am getting it done. My most recent 5-star read in April was Dawn's Hill. And I'm going to do something, I don't know, probably controversial. I know that there is a sequel for Dawn's Hill. I'm going to let the sequel serve as the shield. I double-checked with Goodreads, and of course it's a recommended title if you love the first one. Plus, I really want to dive into the sequel, and I own a paperback copy. I mean, this was just all kinds of reasons for doing it. So I'm giving the shield for this month for recommended based on a recent 5-star review to Dawn's Shadow by Karen Loringa. And that's based on me 5-star reviewing and loving Dawn's Hill, the first book in this same series. So those are what are getting my shields for the month of May. With my 4 shield challenge for April completed, my April progress actually looks like this. Full disclosure, at the time of filming this, I am still actually currently reading 2 of these, but I'm counting them because I will be done before April is over. That's what I'm going with. So total, I read 12 books, which is 3,673 pages. That's an average of about 300 pages per book, which is pretty good. That's pretty close to my average from 2019, so that's good. If I add those 4 shield challenges to my May TBR, my May official TBR looks like this. 1 advanced reader copy on this list, that would be The Mall. 2 review requests this time, that's Duckett and Dyer, and then Last Memoria. That rounds out this TBR when you add those shields in there. Again, I'm keeping this really pared down into just the minimum because it's worked so far 3 months in a row, and I'm just going for it. Yeah. So that's my progress on the 104 books challenge. So a quick recap of the 2020 progress for April. Training Tutor is officially available for pre-order, meaning this goal is basically done. I started editing Fron Book 4, but forced myself into a rewrite, which means that'll take some more time. I finished the YA Contemporary Draft 0, and I started thinking about what that something new might actually be. We are 33% of the way through the year, and yet I'm 42% of my way through the blogging goal. I'm more than halfway through my yearly YouTube and reading goal, so basically I'm just crushing the bottom of this list, which is awesome. Okay, that's it for me and my April 2020 progress. As you can see, it looks like I was able to stay pretty productive even in quarantine for now. Remember, follow me on Instagram so you can see the pretty pictures of my official word count journal and my reading progress journal if you're really concerned about whether or not I actually finished those 2 books I said I was going to finish by the end of the month. Drop a comment to let me know you're still here. Hit subscribe, tap that little bell so you know when I'm back. Keep plotting the path to your dreams, and I will see you next time. Bye!